Let's get into some music. Shout out to Memphis, North Memphis, South Memphis.
Orange Mound.
Jay Moore.
Unincorporated areas in the county seat.
Shout out to Bill Street as
The
well.
unincorporated joints.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to shout out Philly as well. North Philly, South Philly. We don't want any smoke. Meek, we see y'all.
Still scared.
It's not me. It's about Lone and things that he said.
Shout out to Schoolie D.
Yeah, Schoolie D, we see you. Legendary Schoolie
Shout out to
D.
Jill Scott.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, Jill
Shout out
Scott,
to
we
Jill,
see
yeah,
you.
Jill Scott.
Oh, yeah.
She got mic skills.
Yeah.
Oh, John Coltrane was born in Philadelphia.
Thank
if
you,
I'm not
Spoolz.
mistaken, so,
Greatest jazz artist of all time. I will not debate you. He's the GOAT.
I don't care.
Don't disrespect Coltrane like that, man. Love Supreme is. I ain't gonna get started. All right,
Let's get into some music.
let's get into some music. So, Lil Nas X, this dude, this run for this dude is
Did you see the screenshot I shared?
yes, where he said he's
an
industry plant.
and he's proud.
Yes. So I'm gonna get to that, but first I want to talk about his Old Town Road video.
It made me like him that much more.
100%. But his Old Town Road video with Chris Rock, 𝗏𝗏 Davis, who else was in there?
Why does 𝗏𝗏 Davis look just like the baby though?
Wow. Good call.
Like exactly like
Good call.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Who else was in that video?
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Don't do that. We know that.
Oh, do we? Because you didn't
He's on the
mention.
song.
He didn't say
He's on the
it, though.
remix.
Yeah.
He's in the video. There.
He's not in the original video.
Whatever, man. Vince Staples, he has a good cameo in there as well.
Okay.
I
like
thought the
Vince.
video was very well done. I don't know where the budget is coming from. Don't care.
I'll tell you where the budget's coming from.
Where's it coming from?
He's #1 on the charts.
Will that do it?
That'll do it.
I think he signed though. He signed as well. He said he's an industry plant, so he's definitely signed.
He just did
He got a
what
bag.
was the last festival? Smoking Loud, when he there?
Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud.
I don't know.
You
But
mean
he
the,
got a-
the
he's
sting
got-
operation that it was Rolling
Right.
Loud?
Yeah.
I see you. He got
The
a bag.
hip hop
Out,
police convention.
he got a
Dude,
bag
the
out,
freaking
outside of.
man, like
They should change their name.
shooting spree that was rolling loud. Like goodness gracious, there were so many shootings down there.
Yo,
man.
So,
It's so sad.
I
our
think,
old
who's he signed to? Who did he sign to?
I don't know.
Oh man, I forgot the name. I feel bad.
Record
but
labels don't matter.
He signed the Wrangler.
He definitely. Thank you, sir.
Talk
he
about
did.
it.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. I talked to Adarian, who's our old intern.
Hey.
But
Hey,
he was
shout out.
actually at Rolling Loud,
Oh, okay.
and so both days, and he's like, yeah, it was different. He said that when the shooting and everything was going on, he said he thought it was fireworks
Oh, word.
until everybody started running.
Yeah, see, I'm cool on that.
I'm cool.
I'm also cool. Way
I'm-
too old for all that shit.
I'm
Thank
cool as
you,
well because
Brad.
I don't run unless I'm being chased. At
I
this
heard
point.
that.
Well, no, I'll run. I won't be happy about it. You know, like
Hey,
I'll run if I hear some gunshot. You either know you should duck. It depends
It's
on
like-
how close they are. You know, obviously, but like, I'm not gonna. You know,
Spoolz
I'm gonna
turn
be shitting
Spoolz
myself.
turn
Like,
black
Yeah.
when people start running.
he run.
You know everybody black when somebody runs.
Yeah,
I'm running towards it.
Hey,
What's
what we
that?
running for?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I'm just
Spoolz
running.
turns black when that happens.
I'm walking up the stairs, staying in the rooms.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not an inquisitive guy. I'm not, as
Hey,
far
are
as,
they shooting over
As
there?
far as violence is concerned, yeah.
Hey, if
dude.
Jay Moore
Yeah.
run right now, I'm running right behind him. I don't know where he's
Hell
going.
yeah! If you see Jay
Oh, if
Moore
one of
start
you guys
running,
took off right now, I'd
Jay
probably
Moore's
start
got a
running
strong
with you.
power walk. Whenever I see him power walk, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Something happened. Something happened, or is
Like-
happening.
Look like Suge Knight walking through the MGM Grand about to kick somebody.
Shout out to Kansas City Mac. Y'all still gotta watch that movie. But he actually partnered with Wrangler. It's called the Capsule Collection.
I ain't
Now the
mad.
pieces range from $39 to $139. So fam is out here capitalizing off Old Town Road. I'm not mad at it.
Hey, you know what? I got a Wrangler outfit at the crib. I'm not
Man.
and it's
Really?
Yeah, I've had it for a minute.
It's time to break that out.
Wifey been wanting me to wear it on the show because
I'm gonna need you to wear
I
that
bought
thing.
it as a dare
Oh, word.
because she said that I would not buy this Wrangler fit, but it was cool though. It was like I got a nice pair of jeans and I got a shirt that says Wrangler on it.
Do you look
And
like
a
you?
jacket.
Is it
You
made
look-
of denim?
Yeah, it's like
Are
a
you going to
denim.
be in here with the Canadian tuxedo?
Nah, it's actually it's off color, so it's not the same color pants and jacket.
Is it the Brett Favre collection?
You know,
I
Brett
don't know,
Favre rock
man.
Wranglers. Yeah, heavy.
I got it from Macy's though. If
Oh,
that
okay.
means
I just
anything.
pictured like that. That's why I laughed because I just pictured.
I would like to see
Head
you.
to toe.
Like
I would
Denim
like to see you
Dan,
rock
here he
that
goes.
motherfucker.
I'm a rocket too.
I would like to see you rock that motherfucker.
I had it first before he even signed. I had me a Wrangler outfit.
Let's talk industry plant though. You know,
Okay.
everybody said Chance was like the industry plant. Like everybody used to get on him, like how was this dude underground and being the guy that he is and all this other stuff. So
They obviously didn't follow him coming up. But anyways, continue.
anyway, that's for another day. So with him saying, Lone, how do you feel about him coming out and basically saying, yo, I'm an industry plant. I don't care about y'all. I'm getting this paper.
I don't know how true it is, honestly. I mean,
Okay.
I honestly, what the fuck is an industry plant? What
Dude.
actually is an industry plant? Can you
There's no such thing.
tell me what an industry plant is, and I'll
I think
answer
he got
the
it by
question.
default. I think what it was is he made a song that he probably was just clowning around making, and it started charting in different territory than he thought it was going to chart at, which created a story, which in turn put more eyes on him,
Okay.
which in turn made the industry look at him,
Right.
and it kind of snowballed from there.
But wouldn't an industry plant be more so somebody that they intentionally?
That's the way
Then-
I take it. The industry plants you in there to look to appear as an underdog. Like
They could
you're
have.
the
What if? All right, let's say
Maybe so.
they actually was like, all right, let's have this urban kid make this country song
right.
and see what happens. Let's say that actually happened.
Then he would
Then
be a
that's
plant.
a- yeah,
that's
then he
a
would be a
plant.
plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
he
What
would
do
be
I?
plant.
But what do I think about like?
Is that a plant?
Yeah, I guess if the industry
I
legitimately,
would say that would be a plant.
Who is the-
who's the industry?
who-
yeah, that's what
it's like a South Park episode, right?
Right. So if there's
like all the major labels got
Right,
together and
something like
said,
that.
you know,
Or
they-
something
they
like-
have some
let's-
big deal.
there's
worked
a
Let's
out.
say
building.
Warner Brothers just did it. They was like,
Yeah.
let's try something with this guy.
So is
Yeah.
that a plan or just trying something new?
to me that's a plant.
Why?
If there's,
Why?
If the
It's a
reason I
plant.
say that is because
It takes
there's
the
a late.
creativity out.
It takes all of the artist. I don't want to say requirements, but things that typically go on. It takes those out the equation in terms of what it takes to build up a buzz, blah blah blah.
Okay, so
It
you're
puts
saying
you 100
they manufacture
There you
that
go.
as
Exactly.
opposed
There you
to him just walking up to them and being like, "This is what I do."
There you go.
And then being like, "Bingo."
They're like, hey, you
That's
know what?
not a plant. But if they went and like handpicked this person and said, "Here's what you're gonna do," then he's a plant.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the way I see it.
Well, I mean, from the time
I mean, I don't know what I don't know.
That's
Me
why I
neither.
was
Like
confused.
there's,
That's
there's
what
mad
my
gray
guess is.
area
right?
here. Yeah, there's
Makes
mad
sense.
gray. Go ahead, Jay.
well, you know,
I'm sorry.
from the time like the time that I spent in radio, when I think about industry plants, I think about the Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
These aren't guys who grew up singing together. They're like, hey, do you sing? Do you sing?
I see.
Manufactured groups like the Spice Girls, or not like a group of friends who were singing on a street corner. They were like, hey, let's manufacture that's a plan.
Guys, there's
A lot of-
there's a lot of that.
I
But a
can
lot
see
of
what
this-
you're
I
saying.
agree.
A lot
Spoolz.
of this is really like people say, and shit, like this is a rollout. You know what I'm saying? And because I've seen where companies, especially when these record companies had a lot of money around the turn of the century,
Right.
I'm telling you, man, like they would spend so much money, and there's only so much. You can't throw a whole lot of money at a shitty record, because I've seen record companies try, and it doesn't work. Like, I'm not saying payola. Hell, there's still forms of payola. You know, it's not like it was when the OGs would talk to me back in the day, where they just be paying off people's mortgages for the month and handing them cash.
I don't
and
want you
paying
to
off-
lose your. I don't want you to lose your train of thought. I know you was about to jump in. What were you
Yeah.
gonna say to?
Well, what
to
I was
that?
gonna say to what he was saying, like even with the Backstreet Boys,
Yep.
that necessarily wasn't an industry plant because it was manufactured
Mhm.
by what's the guy's name?
Lou Pearlman.
Lou Pearlman.
Pearlman.
So
he did
Lou
it like three
Pearlman,
times, right?
Yeah.
He did it like 3 times.
yeah, he did it with them. He did it with NSYNC. He did it with O-Town. He
Yeah.
did it with like a
Shit, he found
woman group.
He found the formula.
No,
Yeah,
there's no.
that-
Oh, no.
that's
They
what
all
it
got
was.
like saltine.
He
crackers
just
out of
knew
it. Like,
he
yeah.
knew what to do as far as creating that look
Yeah.
that people were looking for.
But he also
But he
had
still had to create hits. Like they didn't just make it overnight. Like there's actually a movie about that shit on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half long about Lou Pearlman.
But
I
was
guess
it
he-
Full Force writing for them?
Yeah.
yeah.
so
the kind
so
of
that
point
was
I was
that's
gonna make,
that's what
but
I was
go
gonna
ahead,
go
Sean.
to.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he probably had the connections to
Right.
make that work.
Because
Mm-hmm.
they got a lot of cheap. Full Force got a lot of bread of writing for those boy bands, and like I found out about it later, but I didn't realize they were pinning all those joints. I'm looking at Full Force as, Slab and them from House Party.
NSYNC damn near made it by default
Mm.
because Backstreet Boys turned down a Disney Channel event and NSYNC took it. And they
okay.
pretty much, just because they were on the Disney Channel, they gained momentum from that shit.
I see.
Disney Channel was lit back then.
Real quick, I remember watching, reading something some time ago about what it takes to make a hit record.
Yeah.
Like what it costs and like the process, like what the real process is to a hip hop record.
Yeah.
And the musicians themselves have no part in the songwriting. It's 3, 4, 5 people. It's a full force. It's a whomever it is that they go stick in whatever environment that they want to be in to be able to write that whatever that hit song, and that costs money.
Yeah,
that's why they be broke.
Like it costs $1 million X some odd dollars. Just to pay for and before you even get to like, the very end of it. Like this, it is depending upon how you define a plant.
Yeah.
Well, this is is Rihanna a plant? She doesn't write all of her songs, if I'm not mistaken.
If I can
Somebody's going over into a room somewhere and writing all her shit too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So no, just to jump in really quick.
Bad Girl and the Image, is she a plant?
Right. I lost my train of thought, so I'll pass.
Well, no, because the thing is with Old Town Road, this happened. I mean, I'm sure there's some little behind the scenes stuff, but this happened organically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Explain.
Are we sure?
See, this is the thing. When, let's just use Rihanna as an example.
Yeah.
Even when she's on a big record label, when she was on Def Jam, like she would have to have somebody basically go to the radio station on her behalf, sit down and talk with the program director, or and then that person has to they have somebody do that in every market to make sure that record is getting played.
This kid hasn't had that.
He didn't have, like, Old Town Road took off, and this is what happens in the streaming era because things move so fast. Like, that whole thing of having a record rep come to town, like when we would do the record pool meetings back in the day, that was part of their run, was to come do record pool meetings, come to the station, sit down, have dinner with the program directors, preview music. That's a thing that, because things move so fast now, and because people can get music immediately, and either the kids like it or they don't, like, you can't do that. This grew organically.
But it's changed. Like that's old. Like that's an old model.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very old. It's outdated.
So my point to saying that's old is that who knows what the new model is for doing that.
Right.
Right.
Who knows what that is.
And the thing is, I also see it from this perspective, like, because as you guys know, like, all the places I'm out and I see how people react to these records. Like, we had, there are people who are, quote unquote, knowledgeable in the industry saying that, Old Town Road is over now. And I'm like, obviously you don't go anywhere where there are people 21 to 31.
Yeah.
Because I was at a day party this past weekend where this is not a country music audience at all,
right?
And when Old Town Road came on, everyone's throwing their hands up and singing right along with it. Like, it's not,
because it's not a country record, it's a pop record.
It's a pop record, but it's one of those things where, like, you can only fool people for so long, and at this point, like, it still works. You can be mad at that, like, I hate that record, but I am kind of but at the same time, I can acknowledge that this kid did something different and made his own lane, and he's winning right now. So look, I salute the young brother.
Here's how I knew.
I remember my point.
Go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Don't lose it.
I was just gonna say, Spoolz was talking about popular records, and how they're written and the money behind them. Like, there's a legitimate science to writing records.
Yeah.
It's and it's changed throughout the years, and a lot of it's based on repetition. Mm-hmm. There's a really interesting series. There's a very interesting series on Vox called Earworm, which I highly suggest checking out if you're a musician or interested in it. But in one of their series, they talk about the repetition in music, and somebody created something to follow how pop songs have changed throughout time and the types of repetition that they use.
Yep.
I use it as an anchor in one of the classes that I teach when I teach production about creating song structure. But it's interesting how more repetitive, like if you follow the graph of repetition from like the 60s to now, it's like skyrocketing.
Oh yeah.
So in choruses within choruses and hooks within hooks and stuff like that.
It goes as deep as certain like melodic riffs and things like that get played in different keys over time, but it's all the same.
But it's the same. It's all repetitive, and it's how the human brain works as well. Mm-hmm. So
it's wild. There is some science behind it. It's pretty wild, man.
The interesting sciences. Notice how when I say it 3 times, it turns into musical.
All right.
It's just that. You know what I mean?
That's the 𝗲𝗏 effect. Every time he drops a hit song, if you notice, it does it 3 times at the very beginning of the song on every one of them.
Yep. Actually 4 times, but yep.
4 times?
Yeah.
Damn.
It leads in with four bars. Yeah, 4 bars. Yep, leads in that way.
Yep, that was one I noticed that early with Pharrell.
The thing that drove it home for me was I saw a video on YouTube where, like, Billy Ray Cyrus was at his commercial. I mean, not commercial, but at a commercial performance for himself. Like, Lil Nas X was not there, and he started talking about how the record came apart and how they did everything, and the crowd knew every lyric to the song. This is his normal country bass audience.
This is when he did the remix, though, right?
Right, like after he jumped on the remix, like everybody in the crowd knew the whole song.
So
the kid wasn't even there.
It's just a pop song.
Yeah, like it's very popular.
It's like what we said when this came out. Billy Ray Cyrus legitimized him.
Facts.
For that fan base.
Facts.
I mean, he was already legitimate in the pop, whatever,
country.
But that made the country people be like, oh, it's okay to like
They did each other
him.
a favor, essentially, because
Super
Billy
favor.
Ray Cyrus didn't have anything new.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that put him right back where his fans wanted to see him.
So when we talk
is this
about
overall, is it a good thing?
We'll see when he comes what his next single is and see if he can somehow duplicate or even
That's
come
my
close to
question
success.
because his next single is not going to be country.
so here's the industry plant conspiracy theory in me. Hold on, let me push the button.
They sell organs.
Oh,
Yes.
I think this is
Oh, my
all.
God.
I think this is all a way to help Miley Cyrus get back into the
It's a wrap for
spotlight.
her. It's a
Okay.
wrap.
into hip hop though, because
Exactly.
she's a culture vulture. So
Yep, exactly.
okay,
So it's a way to help her get back into it through her dad.
so she gonna be wearing Jordans and Jordan jerseys. And
Let's
what she
let's
talking
re-talk about this
Gold
conversation
teeth
in
and
like
grills,
3-4
yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where because like I said, he could be designer.
He could be. Everybody can't do that Cardi B shit. Like
Yeah.
literally
Fact.
everything Cardi B has been on has been a charting fucking song.
Turn to platinum. She's on an
I don't even know what
incredible
the hell
run
she
right
be
now.
talking about half the time, but it's charting. Facts.
There we go.
I
She's
mean,
a
it's
character,
pretty
man.
easy to hear what she's talking about.
Quit being a hater, Mike.
Maybe I'm being a hater. If
I just
don't-
think she's a character.
She's not
She's
mumbling.
funny to me.
Shout out to Lonnie. Shout out to Lonnie Lynn. If I don't like it, I don't like it.
Dude, I
That
saw
don't mean
her.
that I'm hating.
I watched, if you guys, just real quick, comedians getting coffee in cars.
Yeah, I watched that whole series.
It's awesome.
Yes.
Uh,
If you like Seinfeld. If you don't, then you won't like
it's
it
Jerry
at all.
Seinfeld, but like Dave Chappelle does an episode.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
there's a whole bunch of,
Comedians in cars
They do-
getting coffee.
they do Zach Galifianakis, and they do an episode of his show Between the Ferns, which is really weird if you're not
We
into
seen
that.
the
But anyhow,
female Zach Galifianakis at
Galifianakis.
at the Patreon Saint.
Sunday night.
Patreon Saint,
yeah.
yeah.
was she bearded?
Nah, she
Damn
just
near.
was. She was very Zach Galifianakis.
Well, dude, Cardi B was on, Cardi B was on that show. Like,
Was she really?
yeah, she was at the end of the episode. Like, she comes on, and Jerry Seinfeld's being interviewed, and he just treats
yeah,
Cardi
yeah,
B
yeah,
like
yeah.
way
Oh, man.
more,
Yeah.
way better than he does Jerry. It's very, very funny.
I
And
remember
Cardi
that.
B goes with it real well. Like, she cracks me up, man. Like,
Very
I hope she's
entertaining.
genuine. I hope everything we see about her is like
It seems
really
like
her.
I don't
and
think
is
she
It
can
genuine.
seems
fake
like
it,
she's
man.
genuine though.
Good
I
for
don't
her.
think
I love it.
yeah.
I love it,
Yeah.
man. Good for her.
Well, no,
That's
like
part of her appeal.
Like
Yeah.
I
Facts.
saw her glow up from when she was on Love and Hip Hop, and I remember I remember Gangsta Bitch Music 1 and 2. Like I was, and it was crazy before he passed. Like one of her first big interviews was with
Combat
Combat
Jack.
Combat Jack.
Wow.
so and when I heard her, I was like, well, maybe I should pay a
Rest
little bit
in
more
peace.
attention.
Yeah,
She's the
rest-
only
yeah,
one
rest
off
in
Love
peace.
and Hip Hop that actually did something out of those studio sessions.
So she was an
Facts.
actual industry plant that actually made it.
You know
Cardi?
what?
Cardi?
There's someone who could say that and probably
Yeah.
make a case for it. But
Yeah.
anybody you don't like, you could probably say, "Oh, that person's a plan."
Yeah, I don't.
She
get
put
it.
the work in though. I ain't gonna knock her. She
I'm
put
an
the work
industry
in.
plant.
Yeah.
Stop, man.
I want a bonsai
Let's get
tree.
this money then. Shit. I do too. I want a bonsai tree.